Hey everybody, welcome back to another podcast of Not So Hipster. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Asiel Flores, and here with me, as always, is Eduardo Loo. Say hi, Edward.
Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
So today we have an amazing, awesome podcasting, and we're going to be talking about something that me and Edward are very passionate about, correct?
Correct.
And today we're going to be talking about Disney, but not just Disney. We're going to be talking about them dipping their feet into live action adaptations of Disney classics. So I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the news that if you haven't seen the Jungle Book live adaptation, go watch it. It's really good. I'm pretty sure you guys have already heard that they're doing a Lion King live adaptation. They're doing the Beauty and the Beast live adaptation.
Live action.
And now
not live. Not like Broadway live, but like moving real actors.
Live action movie. Yeah, live action movie. And their newest one they're adding to their list is Mulan. So I know that you are a very, very big Mulan fan, Edward.
Heck
so what
yeah,
do you think
I
about Disney dipping their feet into live action movie of Mulan?
Here's the thing. Once upon a time, the ABC show already tried to do Mulan, and it was weird. She was Asian, don't get me wrong. That's the biggest thing that everyone kind of wants her to be. They want her to be Asian. Don't whitewash her. Don't Ghost in the Shell, Scarlett Johansson, this movie. But I guess they were doing a modern take on it. So what happens is that since she acted like a guy, her sexual preference was towards girls, so they made her a lesbian in the show. Obviously, that's never hinted at in the Disney animated film, but it was kind of touched on if you actually look at the real story of Mulan. Don't get me wrong, I love the character. Whatever they do with it, I will watch it regardless, because I have faith that Disney will do right by the character. I just kind of hope that they don't whitewash these characters, if that makes any sense.
That does make sense. I really like what Disney is doing.
Making billions and billions of dollars?
Yes. I hope that Jon Favreau, how do you say his name?
Favreau. Mm-hmm.
Favreau directs all of their live action movies, because he did an amazing job directing The Jungle Book. Have you seen it? The Jungle Book?
No, I haven't. It's one of my movies that I need to watch. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's really good.
I know. I hear everyone say it's really good. It looks great. I just haven't seen it.
It does look really good, and the one thing that made that movie great is the voice actors. I mean, getting all these A-listers to act out the voices is just amazing. So I really like what Disney's doing here. You have heard, and you do know about the Beauty and the Beast, right? Who's gonna act Belle?
Yes,
it's gonna be Emma Watson, which I think is I think is a really great casting option. What do you think?
Yeah. I think she's really good. Obviously, she has the acting chops, given that she's been a Harry Potter character since she was like a sweet little baby girl. So obviously she has the acting chops. She looks the part from the material that they've shown at the different cons. So I'm excited to see her as Beauty, as Belle, as the beauty.
So in all of this, I know that Disney is. I don't know if they're just doing it for the money. Hopefully they're not doing it just for the money. Hopefully they're doing it, to really get fans into it, because these movies that they're doing live action films for are classics, man. They're not, they're not taking like a Disney movie that you don't really know. No, they're taking those classic movies that we know and love. So in these, it's either hit or miss, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, these are movies that at least 90s kids and obviously 90s parents they can relate to them, because we've seen what they can do when they're animated, and so them being brought to life by these amazing, like you said, these amazing voice actors, the amazing visuals, kind of extending technology to the point where these cartoons become reality. I think it's something amazing, and I think it's pushing towards something really, really amazing. I mean, we often get these reboots that are half-assed, that you see that studios just made them so they can maintain the rights to these things. But whenever Disney does it, it's kind of like, they're like, we kind of need to do this because of the rights, but we're not getting so much involved as the director and the visionary people behind this movie are. They kind of give that free reign to the director, like you said, Jon Favreau, who's amazing, who's an amazing director, who's done other things for Disney, or before Disney acquired Marvel. He did the first 2 Iron Men. From what I hear, mainly without a script. They didn't do the first one without a script, and so it was mainly ad-libbing. But he was able to direct it in such a way that it became a unique film. His movie Chef is also a great example of that. It's more of a indie passion project that he had. And he's able to bring all these characters who we don't know, who we don't care about, and make us care about them. So I'm really excited to see what he can do with these characters that we love, we treasure, we idolize, onto the big screen again, I guess.
Yeah, because I know the Jungle Book 2 is already in the works, and I know that Jon Favreau is attached to the film. Hopefully, I mean, I know Disney can pay him whatever he wants to be paid. I mean, Disney's a freaking giant, and they're amazing. So, if it's not Jon Favreau, who do you think would be a good fit to direct these live action films for? Because see, these films, there has to be a director that's very good at storytelling. It's because some directors are really good at action films because they're not story driven. These movies, or these Disney movies, are very, very much story driven. Like, the storylines behind these are really good. Even The Lion King, even if it was a ripoff of Hamlet, but you know, it's a movie that's story driven. So who do you think would be a good director to direct these type of movies? If Jon Favreau, I guess, is busy and can't direct, let's say, for example, The Lion King or Mulan or whatever.
So The Lion King is a very different movie, because there is no human interaction. So the fact that they're bringing it to live action would mean that it would be more of like a Life of Pi movie if you take out the boy, where it would be all the CGI characters with these amazing voice actors. I think I'd like to see James Cameron take on this. If you remember him, he's from 2010. He did Avatar, which was an all CGI movie, which was the first time they did a motion capture where not only did they pay attention to the movement of the body, but also the facial expressions. And I think that with a movie like The Lion King, it's very important to convey all these emotions that were brought up from the original one. So I think I'd like to see someone like James Cameron take over a full CGI adaptation of this. Now something like Mulan, I don't know, I'd like to see someone more in the style of a gritty, like, dark past. I really like what Steven Spielberg did with Indiana Jones, with adapting the time of the 50s and 60s and giving us a character that we really liked. I just don't know who I'd choose to be like the Steven Spielberg of the 500 AD, where Mulan takes place.
If you were directing Mulan, let's say they asked you, hey, we want you to direct, and I'm asking you this because you're a really big Mulan fan.
Yes.
So if you were directing Mulan and they say, okay, full autonomy to you, full creativity, would you keep Mulan in the era that is based, or would you bring it back to? Would you do like a present day Mulan kind of thing?
No, definitely not. I would go back to the roots, because I feel like a very important part of Mulan has to do with what they were going through. This was during the time when an empire was a small empire was kind of growing right outside of China, and they were trying to take over the Chinese empire. So it kind of has to be throughout that time, especially of how it's taken into the story and the context. Because if we were to do it modern day, some people, especially since it would be a modern day and American version of it, women would be treated as equals. And a very important part of Mulan is that women weren't equals. They were just, you're getting married to this person and that's it. You're the mother of the children and that's it. And I feel like in a more modern society, we've become a little more liberal with that. And something that this movie needs to convey is women were oppressed during this time, specifically in the region of China. And that's why it's so important that Mulan didn't need a guy to come and save the day. She was the guy, sort of. If you watch Mulan, you know what I'm talking about. She was the guy that saved the day. So I would prefer it to be still in 500 AD.
And so, I mean, you didn't watch the live action of the Jungle Book, but in the Jungle Book, they still they didn't do all of the Jungle Book songs. They did like the ones that people knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like they kind of did the bare necessities, but not really. It was like a 10-second thing that they did I Want to Be Like You, where the orangutan sings that with Mowgli.
Mm-hmm.
How would you handle the songs in the movie? Would you keep, I mean, I know you have to keep the most famous one, the I'll Make a Man Out of You song.
Correct.
You have to keep that one. But there's a whole bunch of other songs in there that really people, I guess, either they don't know or they do know. But the one song they do know is I'll Make a Man Out of You. The other one, like, Who Is This Girl I See? That's kind of an Reflections. That's kind of an obscure song from Mulan.
Hey, shut up. That was my favorite song.
No,
actually.
I'm not saying that people don't know it.
I know.
Yeah,
you're talking about general public.
Yeah, I'm not saying people don't know it. It's just the general public won't remember it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So how would you handle that?
So I think that for the reflection song, who is that girl I see staring there back at me? When will my reflection show me? It's kind of like this very important song that kind of defies or kind of shows and depicts what Mulan is feeling at that time. She feels like she's completely useless. There's no point in her existence. And it's right before the kind of like the building of the story where she decides to run away from her home as her brother that she doesn't have. I feel like if you could get away with having a dramatic scene where it's raining like in the movie and she doesn't have to sing, it could just kind of be a song that is heard. Okay. It could be part of something that may be a club of, or like her mom. I don't know. It could be something with her mom singing to her or something, but she kind of like changed the lyrics. I don't know. As for the Make a Man Out of You, I feel like that one's a really important song. And if you kind of have it as a training song, kind of like they have it in the movie, and set a montage to it, it could totally work. If they asked me, hey, would you want to have that in the movie? I would definitely say yes. You can make arrangements to the song. You can make it sound more army-like. You can make it more a cappella. That way you don't have to justify, hey, we don't have any instruments here. How is this happening or whatever. But I think the songs kind of help with the exposition of the story. Because within that song, you kind of get a sense of where Shang is coming from. He's like, I didn't ask for these guys. I was supposed to lead a whole real army. But my dad's doing that. And you kind of see the daddy issues that Shang and his dad have that are unfortunately not able to be resolved because in the movie he passes away. It also gives us the name of the enemy that we're kind of going towards. It kind of gives us a sense of who the other characters are, the side characters that kind of help Mulan through her journey. So I think the songs are important because they kind of give exposition as to the story and the world and what their mission is.
See, because that question for me is really easy to answer because my favorite movie is The Lion King.
Right.
And The Lion King has so many songs that people know.
Correct.
Like most of them people know.
Correct.
Like I guess the one that they maybe won't know as much
is the beginning.
Is the beginning? No, not even the beginning.
It's the circle of life.
Maybe the one that they won't know as much is Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Maybe.
What are you talking about? That's like one of the more known songs ever.
I know, but I mean, like you see Lion King. There's a whole bunch of them. There's the one with Timon and Pumbaa, the Hakuna Matata.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a super famous song, Hakuna Matata.
But I feel like in a okay, so I can't. I feel like in a world where it's all CGI animals and they're talking to one another, it's more believable for them to break into a song than a movie that has to do with war and these criminals who are just massacring everyone that stands in their way. That's the only thing that I find it relatively hard that they might do. Also, if they could bring back Eddie Murphy as Mushu in Mulan, yes. I wouldn't mind at all. It doesn't have to be an Asian person. That is the exception. You can make that. And he doesn't even have to be Mushu. If he was just Eddie Murphy, like, as a human, I wouldn't mind that either.
That would be so...
out of context.
Not out of context, but it would be so funny. I mean, Eddie Murphy did an amazing job with Mushu. There's a reason they brought him back for Mulan too. So, like I said, I wouldn't mind having Eddie Murphy as Mushu again.
Neither do I. I guess the equivalent now. So the reason why they chose Eddie Murphy back in the 90s was because he was a rising star in the 90s. I feel like his equivalent now would be Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, get someone funny. Keep the Mushu character though.
Yeah. That's one character that I wouldn't mind them having a comedian act. It can't. I mean, it can be black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever. It just has to be a comedian.
The idea is that Mushu's character was kind of the diversity, I guess, because there was nothing else that they could change it to. But
and he was, if you think about it, he was the comedic relief. He was a comedy relief, and everything he said was funny. Everything that came out of that guy's dragon's mouth was funny.
Definitely,
it made you laugh, and he did forward the plot a lot in Mulan.
Yep,
in a very funny way, and you have to keep that with a person like Eddie Murphy or Kevin Hart even nowadays.
Another movie that you haven't mentioned that is being planned to go into the live-action adaptation is... shoot, I lost it. Aladdin.
Really? Aladdin?
Yeah. Oh. It's been in talks
to
be a live-action adaptation, and I know that you're a big fan.
I'm a big fan. My sister's a bigger fan of Aladdin. That's her favorite movie. Okay. Yeah, I think that movie can be a little bit easier to make a live adaptation because they're already. I mean, it's already a boy and a girl in the animated movie. The only thing is who's gonna play Genie. Oh. That's the big thing because Bill Murray, rest in peace.
Bill Murray.
It's not Bill Murray. Who was it?
Get out of here! It was Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Sorry, it's because I get them confused all the time.
Why? Because they're both white.
Because they're both funny actors.
Oh.
Robin Williams, rest in peace, did a brilliant job in Aladdin with Genie. I say 99% of his lines were ad-libbed. I'm pretty sure they handed him a script and he's like, okay guys, let's do this, and he would just go off.
He's like, that's funny, but I'm funnier.
Exactly. Like if I was the writer. If I was one of the writers for Aladdin, I'd be like, okay, Mr.
No, I think in some interviews they've even mentioned that the character of Genie was written specifically for Robin Williams to ad-lib. He'd be put in a situation and then they'd be like, okay, so how would you react? And he's like, I'd react like this. So I mean that was no problem. My bigger concern would be who they would cast.
Yeah,
because this is not just for Genie, but for Aladdin and Jasmine and the monkey. No, actually, just use the same monkey that was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, yeah. Talking about Pirates of the Caribbean,
he's a capuchin monkey. We'll jump to that in a second.
Okay.
That same monkey is the same monkey from Friends, a capuchin monkey. Yep. Not the same actor monkey, but from the same race.
Yeah.
Anyway, because obviously there's a lot of talks about like whitewashing, and I wouldn't be surprised if for Aladdin they chose some guy like Channing Tatum to play him.
Andrew Garfield?
No, definitely not. I wouldn't see that. If you remember from the show Victorious, there was a guy, I think his name was Beck. Do you remember Beck?
Man, it's been a while.
He was his girlfriend was
was he the actor? The one who wanted to be the actor? Was that him?
No.
Oh, no,
He was the darker guy with long hair. He looked like a skater boy.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember who you're talking
Google
about.
him up real quick and tell me if that's not Aladdin. I think he should be Aladdin. Plus, I think he sings too. So,
what's his name? Beck.
Beck from Victorious.
Okay, yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
He's small. He's like skinny and scrawny. Sorry, he's tall. He's skinny and scrawny. He's that like dark skin that you'd picture with a Middle Eastern, because it's supposed to take place in Saudi Arabia,
something like that.
So yeah, I think that's my pick for Aladdin. I don't know about Jasmine.
Ooh, Jasmine's hard.
Jasmine is hard.
I don't know who would I pick for Jasmine.
Anyway,
there's a lot of girls.
You know what's in Aladdin?
A
monkey. Do you know what else has a monkey?
What has
Pirates of the Caribbean?
Hey, perfect transition there, Edward. Good job.
Thank you. It's not like I did it like 5 minutes ago accidentally.
What are we? Are we Pirates of the Caribbean 5 now? Something like that? 4, 5?
I think it's the 10th movie.
10th? You know, I mean, I really don't mind Disney doing Pirates of the Caribbean like doing trilogies or quadrilogies. I don't know what you call it. 4. I think this is their 5th one. Maybe
quadrilogies and then quintilogies.
Quintilogies. I don't mind them doing quintilogies. What I mind is them doing quintilogies of stuff that is actually good. Cause, see, Pirates of the Caribbean, the first one, The Curse of the Black Pearl, right?
What are you talking about? The first one is just Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean, and the second one was Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, correct?
I'm looking them up right now. Give me a second.
Yeah. So, the first one was good. Second one was good.
Oh wait, you're right. It's the first one is Curse of the Black Pearl. The second one is. Give me a second. I'll get back to you on that. Continue.
So, like I don't mind them doing trilogies or quadrilogies or
the second
anything
one
like that.
is called Dead Man's Chest.
Yeah.
The third one is called At World's End, I think.
That one was just plain bad. That was really bad.
And then the fourth one was called Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, and now this more recent one is called Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. These titles keep getting longer and longer.
See, Disney has a reputation of making pretty good 2, 3, 4.
What are you talking about? What 2, 3, 4 have we gotten apart from Pirates of the Caribbean? I think this is the longest series that Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, the Disney
yes. The best trilogy that they have is the Toy Story trilogy. That's the best trilogy that Disney has.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't mind them doing multiple movies. It's just that, I mean, man, these movies just keep on getting worse and worse and worse, man.
Yeah.
What's your thought on these Pirates of the Caribbean? Because personally, I think they should have stopped at 2. The first one was really good. Second one was good. Third one was crap. Fourth one was bad. And this one, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to rewrite the franchise, but I just don't know why
they've kind of taken so long. I think this might be the biggest break since the first one and the second one, because the last one was in 2011. We're in it's going to come out 2017, so that means 6 years had gone by. I don't mind it. I understand Disney's hustle, but there's been a lot. Yeah, me too. There's been a lot of things going up against this film. There's been things with the divorce of Johnny Depp. There's been mainly things with Johnny Depp. Yeah. His divorce, his allegations of hurting her physically, but overall, I mean, all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are the same to me, but it's kind of like the Fast and Furious franchise. I don't watch the movies to be smart. I watch them for spectacle, just like I don't watch Batman v Superman to be smart. I watched it for spectacle.
That's the best movie ever made.
I think you're wrong.
Just kidding. Sorry.
But I think Pirates of the Caribbean in itself, I mean, what other pirate franchise do we have? We don't. So in a market where you're the only one in your category, just keep doing what you're doing until someone comes along, knocks you out, and they become the bigger, better thing and fight back. But I mean, this movie really doesn't have any competitors.
It doesn't.
With everything that Disney does, I don't think there's been a single movie that Disney has made that hasn't innovated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example,
I mean, just the most recent Zootopia.
Yeah. It
was
innovated with social diversity, cultural diversity. And I'm not just talking about like technology. I'm talking about like in their way of writing. They always tackle new things. Yeah. For example, Dead Man's Chest, I think it might be, where Carcosa, is Carcosa in that one?
I don't know.
Anyway, Davy Jones, sorry. Is Davy Jones in that one? He's the guy with the tentacle face.
Yeah.
That was the first time actors had been in the same shot as their CGI counterparts, if that makes sense. So if anything, if you don't like the movie, just kind of give it credit for the innovation it's trying to push, because no one's trying the things that these movies are trying, and I just like it. You know what I mean? I like me some innovation.
Yeah, that is true that they do push the boundary every time they do these movies, but I mean, come on, man. I know that this is just doing this to get that good old money, but come on, man. But come on, man. I mean, at some point you just have to be like, okay, we've done enough. Let's just go to the next thing. So I think the next live adaptation one, the live action one, that's gonna come out. The one is Beauty and the Beast.
Correct.
Before we even see it, how do you think it's gonna go?
I think it's gonna make another $1 billion. People love Emma Watson.
Worldwide?
Yeah, obviously. I don't think anything's ever made $1 billion. Did I say a million?
Billion.
Okay, yeah, I said
With
a
a
billion.
B.
Yeah. I don't think anything's ever made $1 billion domestically. I think it's gonna make another $1 billion, and that's another $1 billion going into Disney's pocket, and then be like, we're gonna do more of these because they seem to work. Emma Watson has a huge following. You're not choosing an actress who isn't good or mediocre or coming up for something so big as one of the major Disney princesses. You're adapting a story that involves a romance between a beautiful, gorgeous actress and a CGI rendering of practically
a beast.
Well, I wasn't gonna call him a beast. I was gonna call him.
Well, that's what I call him.
Yeah. He's a beast, but he's like a wolf man.
Yeah, he's like a werewolf kind of thing.
Yeah, he's like a werewolf kind of thing. And for it to not be like a scary story or a Twilight bullshit story, and it being like something like I appreciate. I grew up with Disney princesses because I have sisters, and I appreciate those movies because even though it's the same thing over and over and over, they all have their different take on it, and it's like different circumstances leading up this character to do things. And when you grab someone again as talented as Emma Watson, I'm sold. And I think a lot of people will be as well. Not only with the title, but as soon as they're like, oh, this is Emma Watson, that's awesome.
And you did bring up a very big, important thing.
$1 billion.
No, that Emma Watson's gonna be our first Disney princess.
Oh yeah. No.
She's gonna be our
no.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Cinderella was already a thing.
No, but I mean like this style.
What are you talking about? Cinderella was in this style as well, and that's why they did the Jungle Book.
Who played Cinderella though?
I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, but it's already been done. Like, this isn't the first princess. Cinderella was played by Lily James. Oh, and she's pretty too. Good for her. Yeah, and she's also from the United Kingdom. Yeah, and even before that, she's gonna
be our second.
And even before that, we had Maleficent, which was the live action adaptation of the villain from the Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, yeah, but that wasn't Sleeping Beauty movie.
Story,
It was the story was was from the point of view of Maleficent, the evil / not evil witch.
If you want to watch a telling of your typical kind of fairy tales, but with a twist, I recommend you go watch Into the Woods, which is a musical.
Yes,
Anna Kendrick is in that. James Corden is in that. Chris Pine is in that, and he sings. Yeah, it's all great. I mean, I love me some Disney princess Disney movies. So yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna be our second then, our second Disney princess, which is a really good second Disney princess to have, in my opinion. I think I agree with you. I think this movie's gonna do amazingly well. I don't know who all the actors are for the voices and stuff. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Okay, so we have Dan Stevens as the Beast, Luke Evans as Gaston.
There you go.
That name sounds very familiar. Who's Luke Evans?
Luke Evans. He sounds familiar to me too.
Oh, of course. He's the guy who played what's his he comes out in Fast and the Furious 6, and he comes out in Immortals. Look him up. He plays Owen Shaw in the Fast and the Furious 6.
You mean Paul Walker?
No. Shaw. Evan Shaw.
Wait, what's
his name? Is Luke Evans. That's his name. And he also gonna come out in The Girl on the Train.
Well, that already came out.
Yeah, he comes out in The Girl on the Train. And he's the main actor in Immortals.
Oh, okay, I see it. He's cool. Good for him.
Yeah. Him.
Cool. Anyway, but yeah, I'm really hopeful for these movies because they're what I grew up with. And I think that pretty much sums up everything we've talked about, really. I hope they're good.
Yeah, I think that does sum up everything we've talked about. So, anyways, guys, thanks again for listening to another amazing, hopefully it was amazing, podcast of Not So Hipster. Tell us what you guys think about these movies. Tell us what movies you would like to see Disney portray in live action, or the movies that they haven't done yet. Maybe we can sign a petition for them to do something, right?
Exactly.
Anyways, thank you again for liking, commenting, and subscribing to this channel. My name is Asiel Flores. You can find me on Twitter at Asiel91. That's ASIEL, the number 9, the number 1.
Oh, and I'm Eduardo Loo. You can find me anywhere you'd like. That is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, as at Chuntillo, CHUNTILLO.